Okay, my name is Terri D. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and my abstinence date is 10/14/2009. I have been a compulsive overeater, I believe, my whole life. And I was always trying to find a diet. I always wanted to be like, I'm 4'11", and I always wanted to be, the petite, tiny girl, but I never, I just ate and ate and ate. I found OA that didn't work for me. And how I found Grey Sheet, I was going to this gym and I saw this lady. She put a note up that she was a holistic coach, food coach. So I called her and I told her I couldn't start until after I came up. Me and my husband, we went to Trinidad and Tobago for a vacation to see a friend of ours. So after I came back, I contacted her. And, I would go see her. She charged me a certain amount. I went to the gym. We went to Trader Joe's and she showed me all these different kinds of food to eat. And when it comes to food, I lie. I've been on every diet that you could be on. I would gain and lose the same 5 pounds. So I guess I stayed with her for about a month, or maybe 2 or 3 months, and I kept losing the same 5 pounds over and over. And she said, you're a very spiritual person. Let me tell you about Grey Sheet. I'm like, what is Grey Sheet? She said, it's something like OA. And I think she was from California, and she came back to Baltimore to live. And so she gave me the Grey Net, she gave me the phone bridge number. And when I got so intrigued when I was on the Grey Net, I kept saying, no matter what. And on the phone bridge, no matter what. I mean, that really intrigued me, no matter what. I didn't understand that concept. So when I was on the Grey Net, I found a sponsor. And she was pretty young. I think she was from Texas. I don't know where she was from, Georgia. And I lied to her, And I think I was like 59 and I was getting ready to retire and I was coming up on a birthday. And so I found another sponsor that was in Baltimore. And I found her on the Grey Net. And I contacted her and she came to my house. She brought me a scale. She told me to read, I think it was one of Melanie Beattie's books every day. My husband had given me a retirement party and a birthday party for my 60th birthday. And I brought my scale with me. Now, his brother was a professional chef and he had made all of these wonderful foods. And I brought my food, my own food at my birthday party. Retirement party. It was pretty ugly looking, I was so excited because I was starting this new program, and I was going around and like, aren't you going to eat this? Aren't you going to eat that? I'm like, nah, And this lady that I had as my sponsor, my first sponsor, I give her all credit because she really helped me become abstinent. I would lie to her. She said, oh, you're going to an AA meeting, because we didn't have any Grey Sheet meetings here, And she was really a tough cookie. And I need that because I'm a manipulator. If you had my life, you would eat too, And she was really, really hardcore. And I really needed that. I did become abstinent. And I don't know how, because I didn't like, the food, salad. I didn't like salad. I was a junk food eater, I didn't like salad. I like the carbs and the junk food. And all of a sudden, the food was like, oh my God, this food is delicious. I'm like, it's really, really good. I would be licking my bowl. Like people would be calling me, I'd be eating. I'm like, oh my God, this shit is good. This is so freaking delicious. And I was amazed, because I couldn't do anything for a minute. And I have like almost 13 years of back-to-back abstinence. That's a freaking miracle for me. It's unfreaking believable. I'm a liar when I feel like I'm an honest person, but I'm a liar when it comes to food. When I was in the food, it was really ugly. I would like, I'm just going to eat one more. And I would keep going back and forth to the refrigerator, just one more. And I was like an addict. Yeah, I was an addict. Like sugar to me was like heroin. I couldn't stop. I was always looking for that hit. And it was like, well, let me try this. Or I was looking for something like my grandmother was a good cook and my mother was a good cook. I'm like, let me try that. No, that's not what I'm looking for. It's like that heroin addict chasing that first high. I could never get that taste that I was craving and looking for. So I would go back, like, let me try this. Nah, that's not it. Let me try that. No, that's not it. And I would get full up to here. I would want to throw up. That's how full, but I could not stop eating. I would be so embarrassed. I would go out to dinner with friends and we would get an appetizer. And they're like, let's share the appetizer. And I couldn't, like, are you going to save me some? I couldn't stop eating. And then once I'm in Grey Sheet, I'm eating this delicious food 3 times a day with nothing in between. It's a miracle to me because I'm not hungry. After breakfast, I have my lunch. After lunch, I have my dinner. And I don't eat again. It could be 19 to 20 hours before I eat again. And I'm content. Like I said, I've been on all kinds of diets. Grey Sheet to me is a miracle because I don't have any cravings. And now I'm right side. So what's next? I don't have anything to medicate on because life happens. So then I know we have to work on the steps because this is a 3-fold program. They say Grey Sheet is about the food, the food, the food. So once you get the Grey Sheet down, the mechanics down, then you have to live life between those meals and life happens. And so then I know I have to have the steps. Then I also have to have the spiritual side of the program because I need to trust God. No matter what, my husband worked for Bethlehem Steel for 37 and a half years. He thought he was going back to work. Okay. And I think August, the whole plant shuts down. He doesn't have a job. He lost his retirement. He lost that. Vacation. I mean, everything. He lost everything for that 37 and a half years that he worked for. Thank God I did have insurance, health insurance. So he got a part-time job with 2 incomes. I mean, the bills were just coming. Trust God. I always had food. I was able to pay our bills. I paid the gas and electric, our mortgage. All I could do was just trust God and keep weighing and measuring without exception. We got through that. Then my son he was born, we didn't know, I didn't know that he had a heart defect, congenital heart defect. And at 45, he needed to have open heart surgery. So I'm trusting God again. He survived that 5 minutes, yeah. And then he got locked in a phone closet. He worked for a telephone company and he has PTSD. So we're going to the hospital. He jumps out the car. I'm like, we're going for his pre-op. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he's 45 years old. And it's like, Mommy, I can't go underground. I can't stand it. We go in the hospital. He walks up the steps. He wants to jump out the window. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he has PTSD. Then we get through the hospital thing. He's okay. And he still has this PTSD. He's like a little kid. Like at 5 years old, I have to hold his hand when he goes places. Thank God my daughter lives with him, but he had to have therapy to get through all of that. And we have the best relationship, me and my children. My mother died. I watched my mother die. I'll take her last breath. I weighed and measured no matter what. I spent the night with her. The last thing that happened is after my mother died, she had, her house. I'm her only child. Some kind of way, her husband got his name on her mortgage. He died, and now the house belongs to his children. So what I found with Grey Sheet and with the God of my understanding is that the serenity prayer tells you, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. and the wisdom to know the difference. And I found that I even can accept the unacceptable, even when life gets hard and I don't like some of the things that's going on that I have no control over. So today I have peace around things that happen. I have the clarity now because I do gray sheet that I'm in a Clutters Anonymous with some other GreySheeters. I'm in Al-Anon because, I still have a husband that is an active alcoholic. So I can say, you're right, dear, it's okay. Do I want to be right or do I want to have peace? So I let go and I let God. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. Me and my husband, we have a hat store business in Baltimore, and we sell Stetson dogs and Biltmore hats. We've been there 13 years, even through the pandemic. Our business is okay. I have a wonderful relationship with my children. I wasn't the best mother, but I've made amends to them. I have a wonderful support system. Me and my family were very close. My cousins, like I said, I'm an only child. We love each other beyond. I have an auntie that she's the last one, she's 96. And she was like my mom when I was growing up. So even though I lost my mother, I have my auntie. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful and I'm grateful every day that I wake up, that I'm abstinent, that I don't eat no matter what, that it gives me peace around my food. I don't have to keep thinking like, oh, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? I live in Baltimore and we have this shell thing that I love. My mother used to make the best. And you know what is so amazing to me is that I have such neutrality around food. The foods that I used to chase, it's like, oh, okay, that looks good. But I can say, oh, that's not my food, and go back and eat my wonderful meals that I eat. Like I just ate breakfast and it's like, damn, that's good. My food it's like manna from heaven, it's just enough. And I'm just so grateful. Who would have thought that 3 weigh and measure meals a day could give you a life? Okay, I wish the world could get some gray sheet abstinent food and the clarity that we get from it. It's amazing. And thank you for letting me share.